that side is the Sioux Hustler Trail. And last year I did a solo trip. I came back up here and by this rapids, and I kind of camped there for a while and head out and did some day trips for a couple days. We're heading back to where I had base camp last year, and I'm going to camp there. We're going to camp there tonight. And again, I got Runner up here again. So we're going to be up here for 4 nights, 5 days. Got my poke with me. Runner's got his sled. We have there some woofscat. Well, we just set up our camp here. Well, when we're coming into this area here, it started to drizzle. It was drizzling pretty hard as we're coming through this area. And so the first thing we did, we set up our tarp, got our tarp set up, and then we set up our hammock, got everything underneath the tarp so it wouldn't get wet, and all of a sudden it started pouring. And then it also started thundering out too, which is crazy. It's February 20th, and we got thunders. Man, it's crazy. It started just pouring real heavy, and as you can see out here, it's still drizzling pretty hard. Right down in front of us here is the river where it comes into this little gully. And you see in the front there, I had to pull that down because water was building up, so I had to pull my tarp in front down so the water would drain right off of there. And the river heads down to our left, and it heads to a series of lakes. And right in front there's open water, so we'll be able to get water for cooking or for drinking. Yeah, it's crazy. This weather is just absolutely crazy. I can't believe it's raining. We got a bunch of chickadees flying around us, so a lot of people think that with this rain it's kind of miserable, but really it isn't. You're underneath this tarp, and that's what's great with backpacking with the hammock. You got this tarp. As you can see, I have this tarp, we call it porch mode, where it's sticking out, so I can have a nice little view, kick back here, look at the wildlife. We got, like I said, a lot of chickadees flying around me right now. So yeah, it's so what if it rains? We're having a good time, just kicking back, relaxing, enjoying the view. It's beautiful up here, so not bad. I'd rather be doing this than being at work, so this is great. We love it up here. Even though it's raining, it's still great. What we're doing is banging a hole through the ice. There's an ice shelf that's pretty thick there, so we're right at the edge of it. We're banging a hole in there so we can get some water. Runner's on there, a little bit lighter than I am, so I'd rather have him on there. I'm about, close to 80 pounds heavier than him. So I got him on the ice shelf, banging a hole. We got a hole. Now we're going to scoop up water with our kettle and put it into our water bottles. And then we're going to take the water bottles back to our little camp right behind us here, and we are going to boil it.
Kind of glad it's not 10 below zero out here this morning.
What is the temperature right now?
I think the last time we checked was like 32 degrees.
Wow, it's crazy. And this is, what's the date today? The 21st?
21st of February. We survived the monsoon last night, but it rained 12 hours.
Yeah, how long did it rain last night?
Rained all 12 hours.
I would say at least 12 hours.
We were able to get set up, basically set up in a downpour. Thunder, lightning, all that kind of stuff.
This is kind of like ice fishing.
Yeah.
Did you catch anything yet?
No.
How about a cold?
No, it's not too bad.
Nice little setup you got there.
Cheers.
Now that we got the water bottles filled, what we'll do is take the water bottles, which we have done, we will take the water bottles, put in this pot, get the stove going, and we'll boil the water. And then we'll put the water back in the bottle. Some of you guys are probably thinking, why would we fill this water bottle up and then bring it back and put it in the kettle? Well, there's a little bit of water in here, and you're probably thinking, well, now it's going to contaminate it. When you take the boiling water and put the boiling water back into this bottle, it's going to kill everything in there. And it's going to, we're doing it now before we're going on our trip to let it cool down, because this will be really hot. We'll take this and put it back into our insulated covers, cozies. Probably about a couple hours it will be still warm. It'll be warm till we get to our camp. We'll take it out and let it cool down more. But if we need water, I want it to start cooling down instead of going at camp. So that's
what if it's like 10 degrees out? How long is it going to stay warm then?
With those cozies, they'll stay warm a long time. Overnight, I've had it where it wouldn't freeze. So, all right. On the river out there, there's about 3 to 6 inches of water underneath the snow, so when you hit the snow, it's just slush. And it is really tough traveling. We got a long ways to go, and I don't know what we're going to do here, because there's no way we're going to be able to go 6 miles in that. We usually stay right on top on the river and we cruise along, but this is really, this isn't good. When you're going on ice like this, you really have to be careful with the ice, because if it's thin, there's a way to tell that the ice is thin, and you definitely want to cross it. So we're always looking ahead to see if there's any dark spots. When you see dark spots, that means that is thin ice. And sometimes if you get, well, it's even darker, that means it's open water. So I'll show you here. We came across this, we had to go around because this thin ice went almost right across the river, so we came by shore where it wasn't too bad. It was a lot thicker, but just in case you want to be by shore, if you break through, we get right on shore and warm up and change your clothes. But this is what it looks like. If you can see out there, the dark spots. And it runs right across the whole ice here. We crossed up here because you can see it gets thicker. Even though there's open water there, that's because of the rain. But here we're close to shore, so to play it safe just in case. So far so good. We haven't gone in to drink yet, have we?
No, we haven't. I mean, you take what you get when you come up here to the BWCA. It could be 20 below wind chill here. One extreme to the other, so we deal with the extremes as they come. It's not what we expect it to be. This week with a lot of snow and some cold, but we're taking it as we go here. And all in all, it's really a very nice day. Very nice day.
Well, we come to our trail. We're supposed to head down the river this way from the lake, but I think this is it. I don't think we're going to take a chance crossing that. Too thin of ice, so we're going to double back and head on this lake, head down to a campsite on the lake. It's crazy. This is isn't how it's supposed to be right now, but with the warm weather that we've been having lately, it just opened up the ice a little too early. But we're going to improvise. And I don't know if you can see it, it's mating season for the bald eagles, and that male is chasing that female bald eagle. Probably as persistent as I was with my wife 35 years ago. I hope you can see it. That was really cool. We're watching that for about 5 minutes as he was chasing around right above us. But now they have left. Bummer. All right, we're coming across this lake here, heading to this island we're going to camp on Upper Pontus. The water was pretty deep. It was about up to my ankle. I could have sworn my poke was floating there for a little bit. It was easy to pull when that poke is floating. But it's, you know, you guys, it's really important to have really good boots. Boots that are waterproof, and we got these gaiters on, and that really helps a lot. This is really important for you to have gaiters and also have really good waterproof boots. We would be in trouble if our feet got wet. You don't want to be back here with your feet wet. And this is the only boots I have. I didn't bring my mucklucks. Mucklucks are for below zero temperature. And we ain't going to see that this weekend. Getting the hammock set up right now. Runner's right next to me. We're going to do porch mode so we're facing each other. We got a beautiful view. This is what we'll be looking at. Now, you can see I have my quilt on, but you can't see my underquilt because I have a quilt protector under, underquilt protector from ZQ2Q. I always have that on no matter what. For example, like yesterday it was raining and then wind picked up a little bit. My underquilt would have been soaked. So I always, wherever I go, it doesn't matter the situation or the climate, I always bring an underquilt protector. So when you see my videos of the future and the ones of the past, you'll see that I always have an underquilt protector on. Wouldn't leave home without it. What do you think?
You always have an underquilt protector on.
Why?
Because you don't want to get any splash up onto your down your quilt, and if it's, especially if it's raining. But it's always a good idea to have that down protected. Actually, I think it has just a small amount of added insulation, if you will, from the breeze and stuff. So.
I think it does add a little bit more insulation. Installation. That's my installation. That's with the insulation. With this warm weather right now, I can hear the ice cracking on the lake. It's really cool. It's really beautiful hearing that sound echo through over the ice like that. You can see a big crack down there. And when it cracks, that's what makes that sound that just echoes through the ice there, underneath the ice and on the ice. And there's a little ice chunk right there that's spinning in that open water. Underneath it, the water is moving, and that sucker's just spinning around like a little top. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's kind of cool. There's a beaver in that little ice opening there, he's buzzing around. It's kind of cool. He's cruising around in that little opening and then following that river system where it's open across this island here right out in front. We're a little leery because you know, we're just about an inch of water to ankle deep of water out there on the lake, and we're going to be on the river, and there are some spots that are pretty thin, and it's about 50 degrees, 55 degrees, and it's not good. That sun is out beating down on there. If it doesn't cool down, we could be in trouble. So hopefully cold weather will come so we can get out, especially back on that river system and heading home. Man, I don't want to go through the ice. What Runner's doing, he's digging out our fire pit so we get a nice surface to bring our stools and have cook on the fire and sit by the fire tonight. First thing you want to do is get all that deep snow out of there so you can sit your chair down in there. A lot of people will stomp it down, but we want a good hard surface, so that's why we're digging it out. We want to bring it right down to the ground so it's nice and hard and flat, because you get on them stools and you get in a soft spot, they'll tip. This way we'll get a nice, solid, hard ground. Now that's a nice hang. We got both of us together. We'll be able to talk tonight. Hopefully Runner doesn't snore and keep me up during the night. But yeah, it's kind of cool how we use this V, using one tree at the head end, and then at the tail end we have our separate trees.